Week 2 Linguini League. I'm Hail Monkey Man, and I'm joined in the booth by the most pleasant gentleman I know on the internet. He can tie a bow tie better than I can tie my shoes. Please welcome the legendary Rainstorms.
Hello, Monkey. It's great to be back with you.
I know, you know what, the dynamic duo. They can't stop us, and they can't stop The Rock as we get into some fantastic Linguini League action tonight. I have two fun facts to tell you about Linguini that I looked up on the internet because it's a great place to find fun facts. First fun fact, though, is that we have Mexico City Venom versus the Miami Cayman. Mexico City coming off a great first week with a win and their record book looking nice and pretty. Miami Cayman, not so much, 0-1, and they're going to bring in Pierre, who didn't play last week. But what do you think we should expect now, as on the other side, the Venom are bringing in Chief as a brand new player?
Both teams are bringing in new players for their week 2 matchup. We saw a lot of good teachable moments from pretty much every team in that first week. Now they've got a week to prepare, get that synergy up with their players, and really tackle some of the weaknesses that they displayed in their week 1 matchup. So it's going to be really interesting to see as we take it to the field.
And Miami came in looking to bounce back. They're not doing too well in the middle of the standings, but the Venom looking to continue this hot streak. Here we go. Game number 1 of our first best of 5 of the night for the Linguini League. There's a lot of Pierre fans in the chat, so I want them to be loud and proud. But the Venom start now with their heels to the goal line. Rush moving his way forward to that near side corner, trying to add an ounce of pressure against the Venom. Start off a little bit slow. Now the open net situation. That's going to be a back pass over to Pierre. Now over the back linesman, but a great save by Mean. They keep it clean, but still the pressure continues in this early first minute.
A lot of fly by the seat of your pants defense from Mexico City as they can't make a shot here from Chief, but excellent handling in their own defensive zone to prevent the early goal from Miami.
Oh, wow. And then just kind of dropping on it. Chaos coming from the crossbar. Looking for a nice clear as the Miami Cayman slowly turtling their way right out of their own half. Either side, very, very kind of methodical in their approach to escape, and everyone clustered at the goal line. Pierre going for a 1-on-1 at the crosshair at the middle of the pitch. Rush getting challenged by Mean, generally Mean. He's generally keeping them at bay. Chaos looking for a nice little flick. Midfield pass slowed down, but eventually the defense breaking down. Miami up first.
Miami does a great job here of breaking down some of the strengths of Mexico City. You watch as they have good rotational defense and good aggressiveness, but a key bump in their defensive zones set up that first goal of the night.
This is a nice little backflip, kind of got him right out of the way. And, a bit of a mind game. The Venom looking to bounce back here. Move into the middle part of game 1. Easy tap as the goalie takes it from the near side post. Generally Mean rotating, grabbing a full ounce of boost, but does not grab a full tank. As now possession trades over to the Cayman. The Cayman in another rush. A little bit of a delay flick. Chief coming from the midfield line. Generally Mean trying to extend their possession. Now from the sidewall. Chief getting just out in the way of a half-eaten donut. Haven't been able to say his name yet. Really hasn't been involved now as yet again the Cayman putting the pressure back onto Mexico City.
Mexico City getting a lot of great clears here as we're nearing the halfway point as we have a dangerous moment as Pierre's sniffing out his first goal. Not so, as Mexico City is able to avoid that.
Either side, very kind of wary when it comes to their goal line defense. This is a miss on defense, which should open things up for Rush, but he, instead of being in a rush, is going to try and take it slow. He will get jammed right at the goal line. Donut puts it up to Chief, just off target. Chaos elongating this offensive as Mean is able to take the ball, grab it, and go. Pierre extending into the corner. Cayman slowing down as they get to that halfway line, but now over the midfield. Rush for a moment alone in the corner. Pierre with a shot. He crosses it just inside the near side post, and that's a 2-goal lead.
Pierre with his first goal here in this Linguini Cup series. He gets it. Generally Mean is almost bumped into a saving opportunity by the Cayman, but just under that shot as we now have a 2-goal lead.
This 3-man squad, Pierre fitting into it quite well for the Cayman. He didn't play with them last time around, and now I'm going to kind of prove his mettle. Chaos with the setup. No, another shot would be Half-Eaten Donut trying to jump into it. And tit for tat, you see Mexico City Venom just getting met at the midfield and just not able to get good handles behind this ball, losing center mass. They just kind of leave these possessions in the corners as now they're just in chase, getting demoed at his own goal line. He's lucky that wasn't a goal.
We're seeing a lot of cases with the Mexico City Venom where they're getting the aggressiveness that they want, but they're not able to get those key touches in the offensive zones to mount any semblance of pressure.
Generally Mean dropping it back, looking for Chief to make a nab at it. Generally Mean now gonna have to take up the reins of possession. It's him and Donut. He's waiting at the midfield. Donut's gonna come in and just give this one a head rush. Popping it on in. Chaos leaving it for Pierre. No one at home. This should outpace the defender. And that's 3 up. Just over a minute remaining game 1. This should look like a runaway for these Cayman.
2 goals in his first game for Pierre as we see an excellent chance set up by a breakdown in the rotation for the Mexico City Venom with a break from Chief. Excellent shot in the top corner down.
Pierre with a breakout game, already 50% from the field. He's got 2 out of the 3 on the board. The Venom not done yet. Gonna make this look respectable, if anything. Pierre from the goal line. He's gonna just give it over to Meme, but a secondary volley from Rush is gonna keep everyone honest and respectable on defense. The Cayman, they should be able to coast as long as they put just enough pressure, send 1 man up to rotate from the mid part of the field. And this will just be a kind of a cruise control volley as we work our way through the latter part of these 45 seconds. Half-Eaten Donut can't quite grab that pass from Generally Mean, and this will be something that they can work on as well, just getting the nice touches, good passes. That's a great jam from Chaos. Rush gonna get the follow-up, maybe able to put 1 more away. Nice bit of rotation from Rush, a great follow. This one knocked down and still denied. A pair of saves. Mexico City's just not gonna find any luck in game 1.
No, they're not, except for maybe here, but no, another great save from the Cayman. They're unable to really keep up any offensive pressure, and the ones that they do are quickly shot down.
Donut with his final take, and maybe a moral goal here, but this one knocked down. Mexico City Venom will drop this game 1 as it goes to the Cayman. The Cayman firing very fast, very swift, and proving all of my expectations in reverse. I thought Venom was going to be the one to get the first goals.
It certainly looked like that early on. The Venom had a really great job, not only with their rotation, but they were aggressive. They were quick to get to the ball. If Miami was trying to hang on to it or get a mid-clear, Mexico City was always right in their face. Their downfall, though, was unable to mount pressure in the offensive zone. You saw a lot of chances where they would just either whiff or bloop it downfield without maintaining that possession. So they only were outshot by 2 goals, but we see a 3-0 blank out. They're going to have to come back and readjust their strategy if they don't want this to get ugly.
Yeah, this is Mexico City getting outpaced from their back line and just opportunities lost. Plenty of goals left on the pitch. That's not where you want them to be. You want to hit them into the scoreboard. And I said I would hit you with a couple of fun facts. First fun fact of the night: did you know that skinnier linguine is called linguatini? Eh?
Ah,
Yeah, it's like
it's
tinier.
the polka dot linguinatini.
Oh, so maybe don't wear one of those to the beach. That's could be a little bit weird if if it gets a little too hot. It could be a tasty treat though, as now we get our guys over to Neo Tokyo. Hopefully game number 2 a little bit more fortuitous for the Mexico City Venom, or else they're gonna let the Cayman roll. I want to continue to see the output that Pierre has been able to present from game 1. Miami really utilizing him as a brand new tool in their weapons armory. Chaos in a bit of trouble. That's a double commit. Rush, if he had any more boost, he might be able to take this possession and run with it. But he's going to go for a midfield touch over to Pierre. Pierre puts it at least towards the goal line of the Venom. Not looking for a response. Great challenge, but still, Chief is going to be given a chance to get some boost. Generally Mean as slow as he goes from the corner, rushing on back. Chief taking it from his own post. Looking a little bit sluggish here so far at the start of game number 2, but Chaos and the Cayman, they're putting on the assault here right now.
Venom definitely on their back foot early on in this one. We saw some great team play from Rush and the Cayman earlier. As you saw, he had to mitigate his movement with a little limited amount of boost, able to maintain that handle until he came across the mid boost and then passing it to his teammate in the other corner.
Oh, now the Venom. They've been able to posture up against the Miami a little bit more, at least in this opening minute. And now with a great challenge, Chaos found looking around, pants down from the crossbar. Nice little dunk. Generally Mean will get the Venom's first goal of this entire series.
We've got a great angle here from Chief in that top corner. Chaos is knowing that he's going to have a chance to clear that out coming off the crossbar, but he didn't see Generally Mean over his shoulder. You have to assume that your opponent is going to take that shot, and you've got to be more aggressive in your own goal line.
That was all set up from a fantastic challenge from the midfield, and that really put Chaos in a bad state of affairs. Rush cutting off the rotation of Pierre, but he's winning it with the dribble. Chief slowing down for the moment. That's a double commit, but apparently the goalie is about 6 feet too deep in his own goal, and we're tied suddenly at 1.
Chief is able to get that good kind of stop, but he's bumped, continuing to check through the body. Unfortunately, Half-Eaten Donut takes a little bit too wide of a sweep around, and it finds himself too deep in the goal to make a stop.
I've done that too many times. You just be kind of wiggling. You're like, all right, I'm going to park my car eventually this direction.
Ooh.
No. Oh, that was a great initial attack from the kickoff. And this is the breakaway speed that we're seeing in comparison to Mexico City. Miami came and really coming and getting in the face at Mexico City. Very aggressive. But the Venom now answering the call and the challenge. Generally Mean faking out Chief and Donut, but they will extend their stay. Chief shot on. Pierre slow, and he's just going to let this ricochet inside of his post. They've regained the lead.
It's not crazy if it works, right?
True.
That double commit, double whiff, I should say, a little bit of a mind game, totally took the Cayman out of their defensive rotation, setting up that shot for the Venom as we have a 1-goal game nearly halfway through.
That kind of both possession and lack of possession is like, what do they call that? The Schrodinger's possession right in front of your corner, creeping up. You don't know if you should go, you stutter step, and now you're put in this situation halfway into game number 2.
We call that no man's land.
That's true. You just kind of, do I leave? Do I go? And then just dancing like a fool in the field. Generally Mean not able to get behind the ball, and that's going to give the Cayman a chance to posture up. Now they're working to the front side corner. Chaos looking for a bump, maybe to get rid of a goalie. Shot coming on. Chief a little bit blind to it, and Half-Eaten Donut put on the boosters. Everyone just looked asleep at the goal line. The Venom are lucky right now to still have this lead.
Sometimes your post can be your best goaltender you can imagine. Venom totally taken out as we see a breakdown after breakdown in their defensive rotation as Cayman have them on the ropes.
Wow.
As Rush, with a little bit of a slow shot coming in, Half-Eaten Donut's able to get the clear but can't take it away from the center, and Chief can't get high enough.
It's the back goalie syndrome. You thought that the guy that jumped up first was going to have that easy touch, and so you don't even go for it, and just like a zombie, you just kind of roll on forward, and everything happens around you. Tied now, game 2, 2-2, less than 2 to go. Oh, rushing forward, Pierre, trying to get something going. We'll get the demo instead. Pierre now still into the corner. Secondary
coming out aggressive early on as we see an onslaught in this offensive pressure. Nobody really wanting to rotate back.
Yeah, they're just kind of half rotating right at the midpoint of the pitch. Chaos, he took some boost and immediately knocked his teammate aside. Oopsie daisies, that's gonna leave Pierre by himself. But the Venom not responding with a counterattack. It's gonna leave Chief at the front side wall, maybe to pinch it out. Generally Mean on the challenge. Chaos, slow jumper, that's gonna crawl down. Generally Mean just off target. Now the Venom looking to get right back into offense. They've been able to find an answer with every score the Cayman have thrown at them. They would love to tie up this series. Going to the crossbar yet again, looking for the wide angle support pass, but it gets between 2. Third man for the Venom staying on back. And the rush from Pierre. Now coming up, it's just hanging at the midfield. No one quite getting this territory control until the Venom are now encroaching on the side of the Cayman with less than 35 to go. From the corner, Donut trying to set up Chief. Chief is going to go high with it. This will drop into the waiting arms of Chaos. Chief waiting again. He's looking for another tertiary touch, but this is all the way past Mexico City. Less than 20 on the board. They have to be able to get a game here, or this is going to be a 2-game lead in favor of the Cayman. Oh, that misdirect. This is going to come from Rush once more. That's a giveaway over to Chief. Chief to Donut. Donut with the beat! And this is the 3rd lead for the Venom, and it could be the last one they need.
This looks absolutely deadly. A little bit of a breakdown from the Cayman leads to what a rush from the Mexico City Venom. If you take a look at the shot total, we're at 9 shots to 4, and we finally have the go-ahead goal with 3 seconds left, just peppering that goal.
Cayman give themselves one more chance, a final possession. Rush is going to have to forehead this, but then loses it immediately. Unfortunate, but not for Mexico City. 1-1 goes the series. We're now to a best of 3, and a big change, as you pointed out, is Mexico City just got aggressive, and they stayed aggressive.
They really did. I think they doubled down on that aggressiveness, and we saw their defensive rotation take a little bit of a backseat. You saw that Miami had 2 goals on 4 shots. None of those shots were actually saved by Mexico City. They were either in the goal or hit off the post or the crossbar. So not a lot of great positioning for them defensively to make those stops, but their aggressiveness was able to mitigate those opportunities for the Cayman and not have to force them into those positions very often.
Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. If you have your opponent just kind of shaking and with his heels flat at the goal line and his net behind him and just worries in his heart, then that's all you can do. And Mexico City, they did that every step of the way. Who needs defense? I want to see like a 10 to like a 15 game. I want to see something outrageous as we go into game number 3, because now it's anyone's series. Well, I mean, except for this server, because we're going to have a quick little server reset as we go into game number 3. Make sure it's, fresh and new and, good to go. One of the players that did not quite perform going into game 2 or throughout game 2 was Pierre, but I did see a lot of double commits as we went through most of the Cayman's offensive. They seem to really kind of be scrambling over one another.
And that's to be expected when you have a new player. It's good to see from Pierre, though, that in his first game with them, he really stepped up and made 2 goals. And we saw in the second one his first assist as well. So looking for his first save in this first series. You've got to get a handle on your new teammates. Hopefully they've been practicing with you over the past week, and you've been preparing for this inevitability of needing to cycle out your players and really get that synergy back down. Cayman coming out strong in that second game with some great team play and passes, especially from Chief in that first couple of seconds, as we saw. But they're going to have to continue that and meet the aggressiveness from the Venom if they want to continue their success.
And as the server comes up, we're going to get these guys back on the field. And to make note of a new player and an even better performance from game 2 as well. Chief, I think, really kind of set up quite a few good plays coming out from the kind of right side corner for Venom moving into Cayman's half. And it's a little bit more of consistency. I think that's where the offense really came to shine for the Venom. They were able to just get behind the ball. There was a lot of missed touches when we came in game number 1. Knocked off the rust, knocked off the slowness. They, just got to pump up your Air Jordans a little bit. Get that squish going. Make get your good tunes and feel good about yourself and just good chemistry as they rotate forward. And honestly, Mexico City, I expected them to kind of be the initiating aggressor anyway. And so, they're in the driver's seat, but both these teams looking to kind of restart things all together as we go into game number 3 of this best of 5. It's anyone's matchup, but match point advantage will go to the victor of this next game. Miami Cayman started fast and still have plenty to prove. They would love to go to even 500 as they squeak into week 3. But the Venom were asleep at the wheel to start things off. And and just need a little bit of recovery time to move on forward. Generally Mean to the back wall. Chief with immediate follow. Better defense is sure to win this one. Rush moving on forward, trying to get a midfield pass. A double commit in the... I thought that was going to be an own goal as both members from Venom just came hurling at the ball. But still, they're just trying to get it out of their own goal line. And there's the creep you kind of see from the Cayman as they still have control of this possession.
We see excellent patience here from Chaos as he's waiting on that mid line, waiting for the chaotic Venom just to make it clear, and he's right there to stop it and keep it in the offensive zone for the Miami Cayman to maintain this offensive pressure.
Oh, that's a nice little challenge. It's going to drop off. Chief still put into the corner. Rush looking for Pierre. Can't quite make it to the middle crosshair. And that's going to be Generally Mean, just battering it to the back wall. This one may jump in. Can't quite save it. Nice little hopper. Mean give the Venom yet another lead.
Venom breathing a sigh of relief here. We've been seeing a lot of whiffs and missed shots here early on. Seemingly the server maintenance reset has been affecting them in more ways than one, as we see an excellent bounce down going behind the defending Cayman to make our first goal of the game.
That's a very tough shot to try and defend, especially from exterior of your post. Most everyone from the Cayman was well outside of their own goal line after the first man couldn't get it. Rush missing the boost. He's still going to go for a touch anyway, disrupt the flow of play. Half-eaten donut, leaving it for Chief. But hey, now they're just both staring at each other. One man behind the wheel. Chief dropping to the waiting arms of Chaos. Chaos looking for Rush, but again, the Cayman slowed down, but they're going to try and create some disruption at the goal line. Generally Mean going to keep things square for the Venom, but things are starting to get a little bit scarier. Whoa, and of course, as soon as I try to hand it off, Chief gets one right in his face, and he can't stop the rock. 1-1.
The Cayman have found their own way to kind of mitigate the pressure that the Venom have been putting on them with their aggressiveness. They're meeting them head on with the chippiness, with the demos, the key pushes in the goal, and then taking those corner boosts to deprive the Venom of any chances. We see another goal quick off the kickoff from Rush. Chaos coming in with a 50-50 and another back-to-back 50-50, this time going to Rush.
Yeah, that was just two guys cheating from either side, and one got the better of it and able to get a nice read from the ceiling. He knew was dropping down immediately, and what a turn of events. All of a sudden, Cayman in the lead. Rush is gonna go for a shot, and Chief immediately. Chief has been involved in nearly every single possessive shot taken by the Cayman, been able to stop a few. But so far, he's kind of the main man initiating a lot, both offensively and defensively for the Venom.
He sure is, and that's exactly what you want out of your new players stepping in, making sure that they're ready to just step in and play their game and not be affected by the same nerves that we saw in week one.
He is staying back, though. He's seeing how both Donut and Generally Mean are going to kind of cohabitate on the front half, as Miami is now in control, but this one just let to rot. Chief, he was demoed, but he already put on the momentum. That's all you need to get this score.
This goal was set up long before the replay started. Chief coming in back in defense as Rush is coming up with the goal. He takes the wall upwards to cut off that center attempt, and that's what puts him in position to make this long goal.
Great use of salary by the Mexico City Venom, because their previous player was a little bit short of what Chief is now. Chief being a great utilization of their roster, and honestly just coming in hot in this series. Big presence being known. Generally Mean and Half-Eaten Donut all over each other. Oh my goodness. And this one just off play. Pierre now rushing up as Rush set him up into the corner. Chief should be able to rotate behind it, and the Venom, they get away with murder, as this one should have been yet another goal on that breakaway attempt.
Boy, Chief really struggling there as we see him struggle to get some boost, as not one but two boosts are stolen from him and the demo to seal the deal.
Ooh, Chief now gonna leave it for Generally Mean. They're just gonna out-angle the defense. This should be coming back dead center. Chief looking for yet another big touch, but Rush realizing the threat in front of him. Less than a minute and a half remaining. Everything's kind of evened up here going into game 3. Does anyone really have the slight differential to kind of get it in their favor here?
You know, both teams have their own style of play, and it's really interesting to see, especially in Linguini League, where you really just don't know what you're going to get every game. Seeing how these two types of play are intermingling and heading against each other in this competitive format.
Very true. Chaos, nice extra push. He's going to just see Generally Mean try and get a 50 on him. It'll still go to the corner. And a nice extra read from Generally Mean. He's get back behind the ball, looking for a midfield. Over to who else but Chief. Chief gets the demo. The linesman is gone. Chaos, last bit of awareness. Now beyond Donut. Generally Mean to the ceiling and down again. It's a backfield pass, and Chief getting another little pad. He's running low on boost. He's not going to be able to extend this possession. Still trying for the 50. Generally Mean from the backboard, and that little miss is going to create enough chaos for Chaos to score.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of mismanage and boost management from the Venom, as that miss on the backboard is going to create a juicy double touch from Chaos. Excellent way to take your team up. 1 goal, less than 30 seconds to go.
Oh, you got to feel for Chief. He had no boost to assist as it began, and then that was a tough read to make in the first place. But a shot coming in! Half-eaten Donut, he took the final bite. We're tied again at 3, less than 20 to go.
30 seconds, plenty of time to make a comeback as we see a tie here, just dunking it over the two defenders from Miami. We've been seeing really good speed from them all game, but they get crossed up right in their own defensive zone at a critical time.
Oh, this is going to be a little bit of early pressure. Chaos, he has the entire backboard to himself. Looking for Pierre, but it's going to get taken away by Generally Mean. Pierre back to the backboard again. It's going to go to Half-Eaten Donut. If he doesn't get this, Chief with a final save. Pierre, it's a slow bouncer, and Half-Eaten Donut keeps us kosher. Going to the ground and back again. Overtime, first time in this series.
High drama here in Game 3 as we saw a desperate play to get the go-ahead goal for the Cayman. They're going to need to keep up their speed in this overtime if they want to defend the rush aggressiveness from the Venom.
Pierre, they're doubling up. This is what bit them in the butt last time. The Miami came, and they need to keep their spacing, or else the Venom are going to find a way in between. Half-Eaten Donut, just as I talk about it, he sights, he scores, and he gets the Game 3 win for the Venom.
Almost prophetic. You really want to see Pierre here rotate back. Instead, he opts to go all the way cross field to that center boost. Really get a sense that they're not keeping up their communication, as the aggressiveness and that 50-50 from the Mexico City Venom is enough to give them the win in this Game 3 with 1 to go.
Chief coming out huge and clutch just when he needs to, and ultimately the Mexico City Venom, they started again very strong, and Miami Cayman starting to have, even with the aggression, they outpaced the Mexico City Venom in offense, at least 9-5 in terms of shots, but they just couldn't put them all on the mark. We had a little bit more defense from Mexico City, and of course all Ironsides and a bit of the backboard helped out as well, but Mexico City just throwing caution to the wind, going downfield and just making it work.
Absolutely. And we're seeing even more shots from Miami, 9-5. We saw a great amount of speed from the Cayman in this game, but with that increased speed comes a little bit less time to make those reactions and really communicate your rotation to your teammates. So you've got to have that nonverbal understanding, not only of your positioning, but of your teammates' positioning as well, and understanding how you fit in that. So if they want to continue that speed, they're going to need to match their communication along with it.
Pierre, he came up short in game number 2. After a great breakout first game, he came out short in game number 3, and they got to get that communication down, or Cayman is going to suffer a second series loss here in week 2 of the Linguini League, and I want to see them improve. But Mexico City, after dropping their first one, they've woken up. They've hit the 5-hour energy straight into the veins, baby. It's Venom, and they're going to try and make it deadly. Rush is trying to set up Pierre as he moves on forward. That's a demo, but not a goal. Rush will take the midfield boost, and Chaos leaving it behind him. A nice little fake out. Chief, the last man back, and able to get a nice little save before it can produce much. Now to the midfield air. Pierre, oh, he's going to get challenged. This one will come from the low side corner, which will set up to the backboard. Donut. Great rotation here so far. But again, the Cayman are going to start off aggressive.
Part of what's popular with the Linguini League is that we see a lot of these missed touches. It's really interesting to see how teams can react whenever those rotations are broken down from those whiffs that you don't really expect to see, and you just have to expect the unexpected, as it were.
Ooh, Rush, he launched all the way from his goal line. Pierre is very far upfield and can't get to another midfield pass. Generally Mean coasting over Chaos, and Chaos now in chase without any boost. Rush, nice little hop. Generally Mean controlling this ball the whole way until Chaos gets the takeaway. Chief, late launch, but not late to lunch as dinner's being served. It's a shot coming up, maybe with a snack. Chief, it's so slow, he's gonna have to come on back to it, but he will be demoed before he ever gets to reach it. Venom, still on offense, just a little bit off target, and now the Cayman taking their turn.
Cayman doing bend, don't break kind of defense. We saw an excellent play of speed from Chaos where without boost, coming back on defense is able to wave dash off that wall to maintain his momentum until he got that boost to go up the wall and make the clear.
Generally Mean, it's a nice setup, but it actually comes from his opponent over to Half-Eaten Donut. Looking to try and bump Chaos right out of the way and right out of the picture, but Rush now 50'd on back as the Cayman. They're going to have to take their time. If they can get great rotation to their back goal line, they have proven time and again that they are very good in the patience game and being a 1v1 versus each of these Venom players, just like they have now. Chaos nearly able to beat out all three, but Generally Mean, nice little grab. This should be a setup over to Chaos. Oh, a shot goes high. Rush with one more. They're trying to put a hole in that backboard. Eventually, Chaos reigns supreme, and this will be the first lead of the game to the Cayman.
I think I've seen this move from the Harlem Globetrotters where they just hit it off the backboard one after another. Miami's able to really keep a great amount of control in their play as the aggressiveness that we saw from the Venom that really prevented them from doing that has lost its edge, and we have our first goal halfway through Game 4.
And honestly, for all of the presence that we've seen with Mexico City downfield in Miami's half, no shots. That was the first shot of the whole game. We still only have one true shot the entirety of Game 4. This is match point advantage for the Venom right now. They need to be able to just kind of seal the deal. But the Cayman, they're not going to go quietly into that good night. Chief, trying to get a response, looking for maybe a bump, but he's going back for the ball. Bit of a misrotation as he doubled up with Donuts. Oh, and it's just barely creeping out. Generally Mean finishing his own job and able to tie things at less than 2 minutes.
A little bit of a double commit from the Venom, but fortunately, Generally Mean is able to get that pass in the center from his teammates. And if you're not able to send your teammate there yourself, score it yourself.
Yeah, just get in there. You know what? Just for everything that it is, there's no job done better than one that you can do yourself. Generally Mean working on downfield is Rush. Just can't quite keep possession, and that's been the Cayman this whole time. Up the wall. Fortunate there. Pierre is kind of wiggle butting his way into his own net, and that is going to create the shooting opportunity for Generally Mean. That was a mistake.
We have an absolute breakdown here. What Pierre really should have done is go up the wall. Hindsight is obviously 2020. He makes a good catch, but Chaos, a little bit of a breakdown, not knowing where he needs to be in transition, is right in front, and it just serves it up for the 2-1 lead.
Chaos just sitting there, shrugging his shoulders and looking at Pierre and just surprise. Rush doesn't have much with boost, so this is going to have to be all touches, maybe a pinch, end up losing it. But now the setup, Pierre trying to spy after this is just enough downfield that he's going to have to re-rotate now behind the midfield line. Again, the Cayman coming up short on resources when they need them most. Chaos looking for a touch. Now from the corner, Rush and Chaos. He's opened up a lane! And that bump, the goalie and the defense in shambles. Again, we have a tie.
Another double commit from the Venom. This time it really hurts them as one of them is taken out from a bump, and an excellent, accurate top corner shot from Rush, taking it completely out of the dimensions for any Venom defender.
If you can't get the team plays to happen, the passes to be proficient, or to even have enough boosts, you know what? Why not throw a body in there, slam on in, and just disturb what has been such a great defensive foray for the Venom. That missed shot should be another one. Donut trying to repeat what the Cayman did before. Chief is by himself, and and a little bit worse for Boost, but he's still able to get at least a partial clear. Now to the ceiling again. Pierre trying to play as a hero. A double miss by both opponent and teammate. Chaos leaning it in the forward side of the pitch as 30 seconds come onto the board. We're one more tied, and both these teams a razor's thin margin. Venom with the advantage here going into the latter part of this last minute. We may be seeing another OT forthcoming. Chief with the miss. Donut over to the opposite side wall as it comes from the corner. This is going to have to be a good read from Generally Mean. He can't nab it. He will take the boost to try and slow the Cayman down. One more possession as we go. Chaos takes it away from Pierre and says, this is all mine. Does get challenged up to the ceiling, and the Cayman, they'll let it die. Going to OT. This is all advantage Mexico City.
The Cayman have had a rough go in OT so far. Can the Venom strike early to take the series win?
It's going to have to be a big rush. Donut, he gets the flick and the demo, and he gets the win! It just took a little bit of Michael Bay, and they're able to save and win the day.
The Cayman have been winning the battles in between the goals, as it were, with that physicality and taking the body to them for the demo. We see a little bit from that from the Venom in the key demo as the last defender back for the Cayman is taken out, and Mexico City will go 2-0, the victor.
Mexico City, fantastic showing, and Miami, they will drop 0-2, a little bit more to work on outside of week number 2. But stick with us. We still have more Rocket League action coming at you. It's going to be the Buffalo Bolts versus the Phoenix Thunder. More Linguini League action for you right after this.